Okay, so I believe I'm live. Let's see if YouTube agrees. See if y'all agree. Huh. Is everything working fine? Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments because, yeah, I just started live streaming recently. This is not my first, but my second live stream. Everything I would say went relatively smoothly the first time, but, if there's any issues with technical issues, with the microphone, with with the screen, anything of that nature. Okay, it looks like everything's working fine. We got a first. Awesome. Cool. Okay, so once again, we're going to be talking about solutions for Gen Z and for young people today. A lot of you mention about how, hey, you only talk about problems. We don't talk about solutions enough. You're not offering any solutions. And once again, I just need to reiterate, it's not that like I don't want to talk about solutions. All right, you have to understand that. It's just, it's hard to make a video based on solutions because, well, for the simple fact that everyone needs different solutions. Like we all face the same problems, with this bullshit economy, these dog shit wages, these our delusional boomer parents who don't understand us nor the modern economy. But we all need different solutions, right? Like for me, traveling and moving abroad was a great solution, but it may not work for you. For you, maybe the solution is to save up some money and buy a van that you can live in, or just live with your parents. Living with your parents, is a great solution for some, but not for everyone. Especially if you get along with your parents and you're from a country where it's not that stigmatized to live with your parents, then it's a great solution. But, if you're someone who has toxic parents, which unfortunately too many of us do, not such a good solution, right? So, yeah, that's the basic gist of it. Let's talk about solutions. Okay, got 6 people in the chat so far. 9, okay, nice. Literally nothing but a 51% emphasis on collective bargaining will work in the long run, but survival mechanisms in the meantime are also entirely necessary. That could work. It would take a lot to, organize that, but your generation has the power to do it. One thing I really want to emphasize to you guys is that, don't believe anything about the world or the system has to be the way it is. Like, the whole world that was created that you see, it was all created by people who don't know any better than you, who are no smarter than you. Hell, most of the people who created the world you see today are dumber than you. I'm just going to be honest, which is why we find ourselves in this mess today. So, if that's the world you want, you can create it. It'll take time. It'll take, a lot of effort to organize it. But, don't believe any sort of traditional rules have to be set in stone. You can change the world. You can change society's viewpoints on everything, especially because the world's changing. Next up we have, how do you make money remotely when most of my schedule, 6 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. is tied to this glorified daycare program? But at least I'm not hungry or homeless, but she takes most of my SSI neat bucks check. Ooh, that's a good question. I would say this. The best advice I could give, that's a tough situation. Best thing I could tell you, try to mentally pace yourself. I guess just what I'm saying is physically be there to, take care of it, whoever it is you're taking care of, but mentally pace yourself. Because physical fatigue and mental fatigue are two different things, right? It's going to take a lot of your physical energy, but if you can try not to get too mentally frustrated and, impatient during that, 6 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., what you can do is hopefully have some mental energy left over at the end to conjure up your own plan B, so to speak. And also I want to ask, what do you want to do? What's your passions? What do you want to pursue outside of, because if you have some neat bucks coming in and some social security, you're in a better position than a lot of people. You have some money, you could invest it in starting a business. You could save it up to move abroad, to build a van. What do you want to do with it? But having that neat bucks check, I would say definitely extend it as long as you can. Don't feel any shame about being on it. And just try to save up as much as you can, stack as much as you can. It's hard to figure out. So we have this concept in basketball where this doesn't always work out in real life, but the theory is good, which is basically like, if you're a coach or a team, what you ideally want to do, you want to stack up as much talent as possible, right? You just take the best players available and then trust that later you'll figure it out with the chemistry, the personnel, so on and so forth. But you get the best players first. So in your situation, right, since you're getting welfare money, save up as much money first. That's your talent, right? When you're trying to build a team, you don't know exactly what you want to do yet. Try to save as big of a war chest as possible because that's what will allow you to have the most flexible options in the future when you decide, what it is you want to do. Okay, I'm gonna do something a bit different this live stream. I'm gonna get in my luxury flying car in Cyberpunk because this is a lot easier than affording a car in real life right now. Okay, 16 people in the live chat now. Nice. Hello. I've been watching your videos for a while and I wanted to share them to some of my friends, but the lack of source material in this description keeps this bit content only to myself. What exactly do you mean? Do you mean like I need to link more sources when I do, most of these are just my opinion. When I do stuff like historical comparisons, here you guys can have a little cool flying car tour of Night City right here. When you for historical comparisons, when I made my video about Gen Z having it worse than people in the Great Depression, I did include more sources because you need historical source to back up all the claims you're making there. But yeah, just if you could clarify what you mean, I'd be happy to include those. Yeah. I think maybe they scam you. Okay, this is just some stuff about crypto. I have under $700 due to losing a good chunk of the winnings and frivolous spendings. Well, that's okay. So if you're still receiving the money, this is only a problem if your Social Security / Neat Bucks checks stopped coming in, and then that can feel really bad. But from what I understand, it seems like they're still coming in. So just save up as much as you can. Presumably you're still young, so I don't know. Let's say I imagine you're getting 7, 8, maybe 1,000 Neat Bucks per month. Just save up as much as you can from now on. It doesn't matter what you may have lost in the past. It's irrelevant now because, you can't do anything about it. But, let's say you're getting 1,000 a month. If you can try to realistically save up most of that, in less than a year, you'll have, right back up to 6, 7, 8,000 saved up. And then, you can figure out from there what you want to do with it. Okay, Neat Buck's still coming in, but she's taking 900 out of the 967. Ooh, that's tough. I don't know. Is there a way you can maybe get her to take up less? Because if you're only saving up 67 per month, that's really tough to do something with. So I would say, yeah, first try to see if you can find some way to get her to take up less of that. That's tough, man. That's tough. Oh, looks like I'm getting stuck. Oh no, what's happened here? Okay, I can sort of get back on track. I'm gonna crash a bit. So I'm not gonna be nearly as smooth now in my air driving as you see in my videos sometimes, but I'll do my best. Okay. Cyberpunk gonna crash the whole... Yeah, what can I say? I'm not I wasn't born, in the glorious 60s economy. I was able to afford a gaming PC, but not good enough to really, to live stream smoothly. But I'm doing my best. Maybe I just gotta stop driving in there. Okay, I'm currently at work watching this, bro. Bullshit jobs are real. I'm working one. Got lucky, but bored out of my mind. I do not hold a degree. Since we're talking solutions, I'm here for it. Okay, what I can say is this. Bullshit jobs are absolutely real. Don't let anybody gaslight you, these delusional boomers. Okay, I'll tell you guys a quick story. My boomer stepdad, good guy, by the way. Not a bad guy at all. Great guy, but kind of out of touch. He's gotten better over the years. But when I was 18, which was a long time ago, I remember him telling me, oh, there's no such thing as a dead-end job. Whatever job you get, it's going to eventually pay off. You're going to learn something. You're going to move up. You're going to build something up. And it's no, you're not. The reality is most people are not. That's a politically correct thing to say. to try and sound good, but there's just no factual basis behind it today. So bullshit jobs are absolutely real. And the fact that you realize that you're already in a good spot because you know that like, it's bullshit and, you're just there to collect a paycheck and that's it. You have no delusions that you're going to have some upward career mobility. You're going to freaking, move up the corporate ladder. And just, I guess just, pretend to give a shit about it and, save up as much as you can while you plan your next move. I will say this, guys. And this is something I was thinking about earlier today. I'd say pretty much one all-encompassing solution. So as I said, everyone's going to need different solutions. But I would say one thing that will be universally true for just about everyone today is that the traditional route's not going to work. And the only true solution these days is to start your own business. And I get it, it's hard. I get not everyone will succeed at that. But not everyone's going to succeed at a regular job either, right? So it's like, if you have like a 1 in 100 chance of making it, let's say on YouTube, and you also have like a 1 in 100 chance of making it, getting a normal, good 9-to-5 job, well, you might as well, go for the, like, starting your own business because they're the same odds. The risk is the same, but like the reward's just so much higher. So I would say no matter what, traditional jobs, traditional route isn't a solution. I can tell you what's not a solution. I can't tell you what is. Okay, I am learning machine learning and CS for 3 to 4 years, and now that I see how these jobs treat people and the fact that you have to have 10 years experience for an entry-level job is hopeless. I'm really sorry to say, you guys unfortunately were born just like 5 to 10 years too late to capitalize on the CS major, the coding wave. Like I do remember like I kind of got into coding in like 2018, 2017, and it was a good time to get in back then. I just never could do it myself just because I'll just be honest, I don't have the attention span to do coding. So I personally just wasn't able to do it. I had a lot of friends who, they were able to just take a 6-month coding boot camp and get a job after that. But yeah, it's not like that anymore. Also, if you have to go to college for 3 to 4 years to learn this is another thing you have to keep in mind. This shit changes so fast these days. Like the world turns so fast now that like by the time you finish, everything you learn will be irrelevant. Like coding's going to be different. AI is going to be different. Like even right now, like China just released this AI DeepSeek. It's open source, by the way. Any of you can like review the code and modify it to, whatever you would like to be. But like, let's say you start learning coding just 2 years ago, forget 3 to 4 years. Let's say you start learning coding 2 years ago when ChatGPT was the thing, okay? So you learn how to, code like ChatGPT style. And then by the time you learn how to code ChatGPT, DeepSeek comes along. It becomes the clear superior AI model. Everyone's doing DeepSeek now. And whatever you learn with ChatGPT just goes completely out the window. It's irrelevant now. Like there's just, things are constantly changing that. I would say, and by the way, we've been talking about this in our Discord community a lot. I would say college is basically useless at this point. And I'm not just talking like it's not worth the price because we all know the problem with the huge college debt and whatnot. But I'm talking even if college were free, I think it's useless for the overwhelming majority of young people today. Just because if you have to go to school for 4 years and with how how fast the world changes, right? By the time you finish, whatever you have learned will be irrelevant. So yeah, even if it's free, it's not really worth it. Now, if you have shitty parents who are like, oh, I'm gonna, it's either you go to college or else we're gonna kick you out. Just go to college, pretend to give a shit about it, and, build your own side hustle business on the side. That's the best advice I can give. That's what I did, Okay. 50% of the entire population in my country is only making minimum wage because of the oversupply of university degree owners desperately trying to stick onto a job that is barely enough for their qualification. I'm curious, do you mind sharing which country you're from? I mean, I'm kind of pretty certain this is a problem in a lot of places, but I'm just curious. But yeah, you're absolutely right. This is the problem too. Like, this is what screwed over the millennials. my generation. And I'm glad you guys are seeing how bullshit this is before, you waste a bunch of time pursuing it, which is that, okay, let's say people say it's just the same shit as inflation. If you're going to say like, oh, the college degree is the key to success and everyone should get a college degree. Well, the reason it was the key to success was not because not everyone has had it, right? Once everyone has it now, then it can no longer be a success. We're living in an economy and in a society where not everyone can be successful. So, if everyone gets a degree, right? And you guys already seen this, it doesn't make everyone successful. It just diminishes the value of a degree in the first place. Yeah. Man, I watch so much of my millennial generation, my millennial peers get absolutely wrecked, for that through no fault of our own, right? And I'm just so glad you guys are seeing it and not falling for it, basically. Hello from Spain. Hello back. Are trades worth it in America? Okay, yes and no. So I would say this, okay? If you're going to go into the trades, I looked into this actually. The problem with the trades is like over the course of the long term, they're extremely bad for your health. Whether if you're going to be an electrician, asbestos exposure is kind of inevitable. And that thing is no joke. Like you're going to have breathing problems. I think someone commented on my video that his uncle was an electrician and at age 40, he's already having breathing problems. So, if you're going to be a plumber, you're going to be exposed to toxic chemicals all the time. It's just an inevitable part of the job. Now, likely you can do that job for like 5, maybe 10 years before it catches up to you. So I would say like doing the trades for 5 to 10 years, saving up as much as you can, and then, checking out of society, right? Like let's say you do the trades 5, 10 years, it pays a decent amount. Then you save up enough to either buy a van, buy some cheap property overseas, or just straight up move overseas. Then it can be worth it because, you save up as much as you can. You get out right before, the health issues catch up to you. And you have a decent amount saved up to make your next move to check out of society and escape the system. In that case, yeah, it can be worth it. But no, don't do the trades all the way till you're 65. Like, you'll get absolutely wrecked. Right now, I'm a NEET living with my parents without income or degree, but I managed to save $2K. What do you recommend me to do? I'm thinking about living homeless sometime because nothing works at home. Okay, so I just take it that like your home situation is like so toxic that like you're considering going homeless. Even though I assume they're not kicking you out if obviously, well, if you're still living there, by definition, they haven't kicked you out. I would say try, however you're saving that money, try to get up to 5K. If you can get up to 5K, you can move overseas. You can, volunteer. Go to workaway.info and you can see you can volunteer at places for free, basically. Ideally, you like to see. I personally left the country with only 2K in my bank account, but that was a different time. I'm not going to be like, delusional boomers and be, outdated here. Probably I wouldn't make it with only 2K today. I'd say 5K would be minimum right now. But however you're saving up the money, 2K is not bad. It's not bad at all. Don't let anyone diminish that. And then just see if you can get up to 5, eventually 10K. Ideally. Maybe put a little in Bitcoin. Don't fuck around with the smaller cap cryptos. You never know. You're playing the casino with those, but yeah. Yeah, try to get up to 10K and then, see if you can leave the country. What will happen if the economy crashes in the future of crypto, gold, or silver? I assume you mean and if the future, do you mean what will happen if the economy crashes and the future is crypto, gold, or silver? Well, I think we should diversify. I mean, the dollar's already collapsing, so having a bit in those assets is great anyways. What would you say to people who want capitalism despite the fact that we are getting closer to South Korea? For me, economic liberalization have gone too far. The rich people exploit it. Totally. Okay, if you want to change a capitalist mind, because I've had a lot of experience talking to capitalists on this channel. First of all, you don't want to antagonize them. because the minute you start antagonizing anyone, like they just dig their heels and they don't want to listen to you. Of course, if you want to just own them and destroy them, that's a different story. But if you want to just actually have a productive conversation that could change their mind, you just have to point out, okay, so there's like one thing capitalists hate more than anything, and that's illegal migrant labor. But you just got to point out the fact that like illegal migrant labor is a direct result of capitalism. I mean, the end game of capitalism is profits at the end of the day. Like, there's nothing a capitalist boss cares more about than profits. And it's just the fact that illegal migrant cheap labor is going to bring in more profits for capitalist bosses than hiring natives. And that's just a perfect example, one of many examples why capitalism doesn't work. Another example of why capitalism doesn't work is, since it's all about profits, right? Like, what's the easiest way to profit? Well, it's to cut labor cost. So like, by definition, right? Like, you have to pay your workers less if you want to make more. That's just how basic addition and subtraction math works. And so, all this talk about AI replacing workers is nothing new. They've been replacing you with call center workers, technology with machines since forever, because it's cheaper to do, it's cheaper for the capitalist boss to have a machine to do the job instead of a human. And that's already taking a lot of jobs. So, it's just a simple fact that like, capitalism just isn't compatible with modern technology because, what's going to bring in more profits? Hiring an actual human to pay higher wages, or a cheap migrant labor / AI / a machine. Okay, let's see. You make a great point. I started my own business as a self-employed mechanic. Let me tell you, I made more money in 2 days than my entire week at my full-time. College is a gatekeep. Absolutely. And you didn't have to pay any loans. You didn't have to deal with any of this BS, right? You weren't starting at like negative. The main problem with college is you're starting at like negative 50 before you even get back to zero, right? Like, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. If you can just even start at zero, this is one thing, probably the biggest lesson I learned. If you can just start at zero, if you can not get yourself into any debt, you'll be ahead of like 90% of people in the West. Okay. Regional truck driving will pay you $1K to $1.2K to work 70 hours a week. And insurance companies, okay, again, same with the trades. If you can do that for, let's say, 5 to 10 years, save up, let's say, around 100K, and then move over, like, either move, buy a van, any, like, you guys seen all my check out a society tier list videos. Like, any of those options to check out a society, is going to be significantly easier to do, right? If you've done a trade for 5 to 10 years and you have a decent amount of money saved up. But yeah, do not, like, if you're going to get into the trades, have a plan to exit within 5 to 10 years. If you stay in the trades for longer than that, your health is going to pay for it. What I'm wondering is, everyone says the same thing, do a trade. But if everyone is a plumber or electrician, won't the pay just adjust to demand, and would the pay not well, exactly. That's the problem again. Okay, not to make this about universal basic income again, but this is the fundamental problem with like not having a universal basic income and just telling everyone, oh, just get a better skill, just get like just get a skill essentially. There's two huge problems with this argument. Like, telling everyone just to get a better skill. Number one, the problem is someone still has to do the low skill jobs, right? Society cannot function without the lower skill jobs. Like, everyone can't be like a doctor or a lawyer and, have no one working at McDonald's, right? So telling everyone at McDonald's to just be a doctor or a lawyer, let's even assume they could do it. Well, what happens if everyone tries to be a doctor or a lawyer? Well, are we going to have a society where no one works at McDonald's then? Can that function? So someone has to do those jobs. And are you just going to sit up there and tell me those people deserve to live in poverty? They're doing a job that's necessary for society. Yeah, and yet this society, the same bullshit society, looks down on them and tries to justify their low wage by telling them to just get a better job. Even though if they got a better job, your society would cease to function. But the other problem with that is, as you mentioned, if everyone becomes a doctor or lawyer, what do you think is going to happen? Well, Number one, it's going to be way harder to find a job as a doctor or lawyer. That's going to be way more competitive. Number two, doctors and lawyers are going to get paid less because everyone's trying to do that, you know? And yeah, it's the same thing with plumbers. It's the same thing with electricians. Like, no matter what way you cut it, like some sort of UBI is going to be necessary because telling people to just get a better skill, it can work on an individual level. It can't work on a societal level, on like a macro level. Because if everyone just gets a better skill, well, guess what? That skill then just becomes less valuable. It's like how they told everyone to just get a college degree, right? Oh, just get a college degree. Well, did that make everyone's wages higher? No, it just made the value of a college degree worthless because everyone has it now. So what's so special about it? Turkey. Oh, interesting. Okay. If you Gen Z got trade skills after going to trade school, I think that's going to help for your future job. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, just don't do it for over 5 to 10 years. Hello from Denmark. Hello back. Mangtak. That's one thing I learned from my stay in Denmark. Really, really nice people there, I must say. How are things in Denmark? Is it the socialist paradise they claim it to be? Is it getting worse? Let me know. Okay, let me scroll down a bit. Let's go back to medieval times. Ooh, I like that one. Even truck drivers got a pretty short lifespan due to sedentary. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. If you're going to go to the trades, I read the average lifespan for a truck driver is only 65 years. So it's like retirement 65, right? So it's like you die exactly the same year you're supposed to get retirement. What's even the point? You know? So just I would say, yeah, if you're going to get into the trades, it's fine. Just, yeah, be a single guy, you know, save up as much as you can and look to get out of it. Like, don't do this thing where you're going to try to start and raise a family off the trades. Because if you try to start a family, like if you're a single guy working in the trades, you can save up a lot over the course of 5 to 10 years. You can buy a homestead. You can, you know, check out a society. You can do any of the other options we talked about. But just, yeah, if you get married or start a family with a career in the trades, you're going to be stuck working in the trades, ruining your health forever. I'm 21 and working as a translator in Turkey for a little more than minimum wage. Man, that's rough. I mean, that's a skill too. Like, you can't tell me, you know, that's unskilled. But yeah, this economy is just so god awful. I plan to go to uni to get 4 years of prep time on whatever I could, but it seems like my choice will not matter. It's not going to, and you're right about this because like there's not really some, you know, I don't want to lie to you guys, you know, like that's the last thing we should do. Like I could stay here and be like, oh, just work hard, you know, it's gonna pay off eventually. No, it's not. Like by the time you're finished with whatever you're studying 4 years later, you know, an AI is gonna like be like a 1 million times better translator than you are. You know, that's just an inevitability. So I don't know. Like, if I were you, I guess I would try to just make as much off it as possible and save as much, you know, live with your parents if you can. And then, yeah, I guess, you know, save up as much as you can and do any of the other options we talked about, you know, travel, live in a van, live with your parents, etc., etc. Okay. I'm 21, male, own a vending business at the moment. Laundromat, also live with my parents. Hey, no shame in that at all. I make 180K a year. It's pretty chill living with the parents. Dude, that's good. You can save up a lot over time. Now you just got to, you know, decide what you want to do with it. Okay. Thank God I never went to college. Totally. I wouldn't yeah. I will say this. I can't give like a one-size-fits-all solution for all of you. I can say college is absolutely not the solution, though, for basically all of you. Yeah, what game is this? Cyberpunk. Denmark easy mode. Okay, let me scroll down a bit. There's a lot of money to be made in B2B sales. Don't know much about that. Maybe. Maybe. You become a digital nomad by teaching others how to become digital nomads. Someone asked, do you do YouTube full-time? How do you support yourself? I'm trying to go full-time on YouTube. I've been able to fully support myself off like crypto investments I made in the past, but not mainly because I moved overseas and I just have a very cheap, frugal existence. My total living costs are probably $700-800 a month. So That's how I sustain myself without working. Yeah, this is why I think I recommend moving overseas for a lot of you. Just because you know, reducing your living expenses will get you so much further than trying to make more money these days. Because making more money, you'll quickly find out, in order to make more money, you have to spend more money to make more money. You know, if you want to start a business, you're going to have to invest in, shit it takes to start a business. If you want to acquire a skill, you have to spend money to get a degree. And also, naturally, the more money you make, the more you're just going to want to spend for, like a better lifestyle, right? So like reducing your living expenses, guys, is the new meta. Like this will get you way further than trying to make more money will. And then once you learn to, like, I would say, live off less than $1,000 a month, then whatever money you save up can like really build up towards a long-term solution. Okay, let's see. Just buy crypto and pray to God. Well, I don't know how much crypto is going to still go up. And I say this even as a crypto holder myself, someone who, bought crypto at a good time and, spent a lot of time living off crypto investments. I think the problem with crypto is this. Bitcoin should go up, but like Bitcoin's the days where like Bitcoin is going to be serious life-changing money, because like when I got it and, the lucky people who got it even before me, you could legit invest like a couple hundred in Bitcoin and, it would go up so much that it would be like life-changing money. Like there were some people in the early days who bought like a couple $100s and it became worth millions, right? Those exponential gains are over. I think Bitcoin can still go up, but if it does, it'll double, maybe triple, maybe 3x. Like right now, if you invest 100 in it or 1,000, it'll become like 2, 3, 4, 5,000 at best. Back in the day, if you invested 1,000, it could literally become 1,000,000. So you could mess around with the altcoins, but that's kind of just like playing the lottery. But okay, here's one way I would say Bitcoin can still like help you get ahead is if you have, let's say you combine some of these tactics we talked about, right? Like let's say you work in the trades. Let's say you find a trade where you can make like 5K a year. Let's say you can put away 1 or 2K in Bitcoin, like average into Bitcoin. 1 or 2K every month. And then, then over the course of like a couple of years, if Bitcoin, doubles, triples, then you can actually build some serious savings with that. But yeah, the days where you can invest like, 100, 200, 1,000 and just get life-changing money. Unfortunately, I think those days are over for crypto. Getting a programming job today is hard as F. Oh my goodness. Like, I was reading some recent Reddit stories where even people who have like 15 years experience in coding can't get a job now. So like if you're a young person just starting out, good luck. Join our Discord, by the way, because there's people in our Discord talking about this. Like a lot of my understanding is a lot of you, Gen Z guys out there, like you got pushed, and encouraged to do STEM and like CS because you were promised it would be great. And, you got stuck with internships after through no fault of your own, just because the tech job market and the industry is just so oversaturated now. People with 10, 15 years experience can't get jobs. Like, what are you going to do? I'm going to quickly go to my apartment here. Can I fast travel? Give you a quick apartment tour in my imaginary cyberpunk game, because none of us can afford apartments in real life, myself included. Okay, yeah, here's my apartment. Okay, I'll go ahead. And you'll notice something funny, guys. Even the apartment I was able to afford in Cyberpunk was a very small one. Oh, I forgot. In Cyberpunk, you have to go. Okay, I'll go there a bit later. Let me answer some questions first. A degree is semi-worth it in Canada because you need it for immigration out of Canada. Yes, yes. Canada's so Finnish. Like, that's probably the one place that's arguably worse than America. Like, if you're from Canada, there's no solution other than to get out of Canada. That's literally it. Like, whatever you do in Canada is cooked. Like, there's literally nothing you can do there. That country is just screwed beyond repair. It doesn't matter what you try. Yeah, the only solution is to leave at this point. Majority of Canadian youth does CS degree so they can flee Canada. Well, yeah, yeah. That might be worth it actually. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. So like when I was I personally did not go to college. That did come back to bite me a bit. Even though mostly I would say it was a good decision, it did make it difficult because one thing is like if you want to move overseas, the easiest job you can get is just being an English teacher, okay? Most places where you can get a job as an English teacher, they require you to have a 4-year degree. It does not matter what the degree is, you just have to have a degree. And so me not having a degree made it basically impossible for me to get an English teaching job. So yeah, if you can get just any, BS degree, so you can have that degree, it does open up opportunities for you to be an English teacher overseas. And yeah, that's probably, your best shot at like escaping this, perpetual endless rat race. Oh shit, the police are chasing me here. And yeah, my computer's already lagging as is, so there's definitely no way I'm going to be able to defeat these cops on these settings right here. So I'm just going to have to run. Okay, let's see. I've always aspired. What are good countries to immigrate to? Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia. South America is okay, I heard, but there's problems with like it being too dangerous. I heard like Peru is good. But places like Colombia, I mean, a lot of passport bros like to go there for the women, but they end up deciding it's not worth it because it's just so damn dangerous there. Yeah, same goes for Brazil. So South America with a caveat, I would say, and then, Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, even Japan. Just attend the cheapest degree. Yeah, exactly. Get the cheapest degree, right? Whatever BS degree you can get, whatever cheapest, easiest BS degree, just to say you have a degree. And then once you graduate, you can get an English teaching job overseas. I think that's a job that will not get replaced by AI because of course AI will get to a point where it can teach English as good as anyone else. But the thing is, there will always be some people who want a natural human connection. And like, don't feel comfortable sending their kids to be, taught English by a robot. So yeah, avoid Argentina. Yeah. I'm going to go to Poland soon to try it out for a while. Yeah. I heard the economy's going there pretty good now. Like one of few places in the world where the economy is good. Of course, I'm sure if you actually talk to people from there, they will disagree, but give it a shot. Yeah, why not? Philippines is the best because majority of us don't speak a second language. Okay, yeah. That's not bad to try. Serbia, yeah. Like this is the thing, right? Like, you gotta play both sides of the globalization coin because it's clear that like, a lot of our job prospects in the West were diminished because of immigration, right? I'm not gonna be a bitter asshole sitting on the couch complaining about immigrants all day. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to grow old just sitting in my couch watching Fox News complaining about immigrants. I mean, you can, and I don't judge people who do that. I just personally don't think that's the most productive thing to do. My mentality is just like, okay, if they're going to replace us with immigrants, right? Then we just got to adapt and play their own game better than them. We just got to adapt, play both sides of the globalization coin, where if they're going to replace us with immigrants and cheap immigrant labor, then we got to move to foreign country with cheaper living expenses. That's just the adaptation you got to make. Fair is fair, right? We're just playing their own game better than them. Okay, I'm gonna walk around. I'll go to Japantown. You guys. I gotta go to some fast travel portal. Let me find the closest one here. I'm gonna try to show you guys, I guess, a more scenic place in Cyberpunk. Since it's lagging so bad, best thing I can do is, okay, yeah, here we go. Best thing I can do is at least lag in a place that looks better. Speaking of, what's your take on Gen Alpha? Not sure if you ever talked about it. Good question. I think I might soon make a video on this. First of all, it's way too early to draw any conclusions about Gen Alpha. I mean, the oldest Gen Alpha is like 10 years old or something. So all this shit I see about, Gen Alpha's cooked. We don't know, right? I mean, it's too young. The few interactions I've had with them, I see some promise and potential because you got to remember, they're going to be the first generation that grows up with AI. Like, they're going to have ChatGPT available at their fingertips and this whole DeepSeek thing from China. Which for those of you who don't know DeepSeek, you must be living under a rock. But supposedly it's like China's ChatGPT, but it's way better. They're gonna grow up with so much information. They might just be like AI gigachads that save us all. So yeah. And I will always say, you know, given how much I vibe with Gen Z and how much promise I see in Gen Z and younger generations, you never ever want to just rule out and like hate on younger generations and assume they're, you know, naive, dumb, whatever, and that they know anything. Because, you know, if I were to do that, right, like, I wouldn't have gotten to know all you awesome Gen Z chats. Like, if you're asking me, I legit think Gen Z is the smartest generation, the smartest living generation. Obviously, they're going to be smarter than boomers who are still living in 1960. I definitely think they're more smart than millennials. I mean, you can make a case younger, like the zillennials are closer to Gen Z. But I would say, you know, mostly they're smarter than millennials because, like, millennials didn't have access to the internet and all this information till, like, well into our adult years. You had access to all this, you know, long before that. Yeah. So, yeah, it's too early. Oldest Gen Alpha is like 13. What are your thoughts on learning AI, generative AI, and AI programming? Yeah, go for it. It's probably, like, I can't guarantee it'll work because this shit just changes so fast. Like, I'm not like an AI expert on the coding side. I know I use an AI voice, but that's a bit of a different story. You know what? I know what I can do. I can just like find a metro station and chill in the metro. You guys can see that. Hopefully that doesn't lag too much. Back to what I was saying. AI is, if you learn AI, right? That's a good mindset to have because it's like, okay, if we're going to get replaced by AI, might as well play the opposite side of the coin and learn AI ourselves, right? You know, before like we use AI to create our own jobs. By the way, speaking of this, I read a really, really interesting idea the other day that like AI can actually just be used to replace CEOs. Like, this is the hilarious irony of it. Like, CEOs are using AI to replace workers to try and cut costs even further because, you know, no amount of money is enough for these billionaire assholes, right? But what they don't realize, the hilarious irony in this is like AI is actually a CEO is the easiest job to get replaced by AI. So maybe even like learn AI to like code your own AI CEOs, have the CEO, you know, be run by an AI. Right? And then like all the money that a CEO typically makes can just get distributed to the workers. Like, I've seen that idea being floated around and it's pretty genius, to be honest. Like, all you guys got to do is, you know, learn to code it and implement it. You know, power's in your hands. The worst I've heard anyone say about Gen Alpha is their reading math comprehension is kind of bad. And you can learn to be better at stuff like that with not so much effort. So not a big deal. Exactly. And I mean, how much is math really going to matter? Like, I mean, you know, by the time Gen Alpha becomes adults, they're going to have this like super AI robots who can just like do math way beyond a human level. It's going to be, I'm not even sure that skill's going to be relevant in the future. Okay. Correct. You can learn pretty much anything if you want to, but that's the key problem here. Want to. They don't seem interested in majority. Well, I mean, why should they be? Like, I mean, by the time they graduate, like, as I said, you know, like, by the time Gen Alpha graduates, how relevant is math going to be? I mean, it'll probably be good just to, like, you know, learn basic stuff so you can, like, count your own money and, like, count how many hours you're going to be at a certain place and times like that. But in terms of like it being useful for your career, I mean, you're not going to compete against like an AI supercomputer. There are probably 200 AI jobs in all of Canada. I believe that, but what you can do is like you can use AI to create your own jobs. Like, let's say you want to create a business. You can just like code an AI CEO to like give you recommendations on how to start the business, how to manage it, so on and so forth. AI CEOs might be the trend, might be the thing actually. Like, imagine this, guys. Like, let's say like, you know, Musk makes, you know, is worth like 400 billion. Bezos is worth 200 billion. You can't like tell the, you know, say they should share more because that's communism, right? So what do you do instead? Well, you just create an AI CEO, have it do the same job as Bezos, create your own Amazon competitor. Now you don't have to pay Jeff Bezos $200 billion. You have an AI CEO who can do all that for free. And just split that $200 billion amongst the workers. Brilliant. Okay. Math ain't that important, but their reading and attention span issues are worrying. I look at this a bit differently. So, Gen Z got criticized for their attention spans too. But as a YouTuber, I learned you can present information in a way that will hold their attention spans better. And maybe it's just like on us to like figure out new ways to like adapt to their shortening attention spans than asking like an 8-year-old to somehow resist all the psychological factors that are making their attention spans shorter. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay, what I'll do, I guess I'll walk around. I'm really sorry, guys, the lag is so bad on this. Maybe I gotta try to use a different game next time. Let's see the chat here. Cortana, next CEO of Microsoft. Yeah, exactly. What about a marketing agency? Yeah, absolutely. Why not? I mean, why not? I would just kind of stay away from, are you on lowest settings? Yeah. I would kind of stay away from AI marketing because people are getting sick of AI content now. But if you want to like use an AI CEO, for example, to like give you ideas on how to run a business, yeah, that could be great. Great to meet you, man. Great to meet you too. One thing I love about being sort of still like a relatively smaller creator is that like I can actually have a legitimate connection with my audience. I can actually personally talk to you guys, get to know a lot of you, like we have on our Discord. It's if I ever become a bigger creator, obviously I don't know if I get to like 100K or something. I guess I'm gonna kind of miss these days where I actually could talk to and answer pretty much every question. Maybe Skyrim with some mods. You know what? Great idea. I'm gonna try to do that. Actually, I'm gonna try to do that. Okay, I might try to go back and answer some. Again, we're talking about solutions for Gen Z today. We talk about problems all the time in all of our videos, and a lot of you guys fairly point out, hey, we all know what the problems are, and you're only talking about problems. What about solutions? Problem is, I can't give one-size-fits-all solutions in videos, which is why the best solution I could find, a little solution inception here, the best solution I could find for giving solutions is just to do live streams where, I can give my best ideas for solutions for all of you individually, because individually speaking, we all need different solutions. One solution for one person might not work for another. Let's see. Remember, millennials are the smartest generation. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, 57 people in the chat. Not bad for a Wednesday, I would say. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Problem with going to Japan and China is the language. It's hard. I've tried learning them, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Cause I've traveled all over the world. And like, I would say the one big advantage Europe has over Asia, if you're a Westerner, is, European languages are easy to learn and immerse yourself in over time. And B, most Europeans, at least in big cities, and at least younger people, can speak English. So you can get away with not being super fluent in the native language. But in Asia, yeah, it's going to be tough. Like, even if you go to Tokyo, Beijing, Shanghai, where, Seoul, where some of the young people speak English, it's still going to be tough if you don't learn the native language. And yeah, you can't just learn Japanese or Chinese that easily, or Korean. Okay. If you're interested in something like AICEO, read about OGAS. Ain't exactly the same, but close enough. Okay, as soon as I get off this live stream, I will. Just remember, the real game of Skyrim is seeing how many mods you can install before it breaks. How did that game become so timeless? I remember being addicted to it and just playing for days on end when it first came out, but it's incredible how, like, 15 years later, you know, people are still talking about it. I guess the modding community has really kept it alive. The millennials was the last generation that was optimistic and trusted the system. Yeah, and, you know, that was our downfall. Someday I want to learn Japanese so I can watch subbed anime without learning subtitles. I will say this. There's a method I read online about, like, there's some psychology hack apparently you can use to learn a language faster. You can Google how to learn a language in 6 months. Apparently there was this one guy who he traveled to China and somehow learned to speak Chinese at a conversational level within 6 months. So... and he did that back in the day when it was way harder, when, you know, like, you couldn't just learn stuff online. He actually had to physically go to China and spend time. So, Chris Longsdale is his name. Look it up. Yeah. Let's see. Your real life should be like a video game. It probably will be eventually. Yeah. Okay, quick recap here, guys. We're talking about solutions for Gen Z. One interesting direction we found here is a lot of people have been asking about trades, in my opinion, on getting into the trades. You know, things like being an electrician, a carpenter, a plumber. And the general thoughts I have on that is, if you want to do the trades, get in and get out. You know, have a plan. Do it for 5 to 10 years. Stay single. Don't get into a relationship or start a family. Not because it's a bad thing in and of itself, but because you're just not going to be able to save up any money if you do that. Get into a trade, make 50, 60, 70K a year, whatever the trade pays you. Save as much as you can for 5 to 10 years, and then just use the savings to escape the system. You know, however you want to do it. You want to move overseas, you want to, you know, buy a van and convert it into livable space and do van life. You want to, you know, buy your own property, cheap property overseas. You know, you should have enough saved up to make a move to escape the system after you've done the trades, worked in the trades for 5 to 10 years. But if you do the trades any longer than that, you're going to run into serious health problems. And, you know, those are going to wipe out all your savings, especially with the god-awful American healthcare system. And yeah, you just can't never buy your health back. So... yeah, trades are one potential solution. Just get in and get out. 5 to 10 years, save up, get out the system. Another solution we mentioned is AI CEOs, which I might have to do a whole video about it. Get it in writing? Oh, trades. Okay, yeah. Okay. In these days, less and less women are able to replace the benefits of being single. The juice just is not worth the squeeze. I mean, I understand that sentiment, sure. Part of it's just, you know, the economy being so bad for everyone. That, yeah, like how, you know, how are you going to date when, like, you know, you're being so, you know, pressured on all ends economically like this? Back in the Eastern Bloc era, people could learn some trades in the military. For example, my grandpa learned quite a bit about electronics, especially radios and similar devices. Interesting. I wonder if that would still be relevant today. Thanks for this video. I am surrounded by older generation and they just don't listen, don't even care, or they just don't care to even listen to what I have to say. Yeah, and they're not going to, and just don't expect them to, you know. Find your own community that, you know, will listen to you, because you're just going to get disappointed if you expect them to ever understand you. The mother of all disappointment is expectation. That's one of my favorite quotes, and, you know, expecting old people to understand you, yeah, that's absolute. Setting yourself up for disappointment. Okay. Don't care about the societal expectations of a society not worthy of respect. Totally. I've been saying that a lot on my channel too. Like, why should you give a shit about being successful by society standards when like this society, like why should you care if society's going to deem you a failure when this society itself has been nothing but just the biggest, most massive failure ever? Who's society to even judge you, you know, for being a failure or a loser according to their own subjective standards, right? Did you read a Max Turner? I'm sorry, I didn't get a... I know you asked me to do that last live stream. I'm really sorry I didn't get around to doing that. I was trying to make a bunch of videos. By the way, guys, exciting announcement to make. We're making a really... You guys like my tier list videos a lot. I'm working... My editor is working. I've already finished up the script. I've sent it over to my editor now. We're working on a very high production tier list video for you guys right now. I'm waiting for an update from my editor. It could be done tonight. We could be seeing it as soon as 1 to 2 hours after the stream ends. Worst case scenario is it might take till tomorrow and we'll release it at the same upload time we usually upload, but it's possible. As soon as I get some update from my editor, I'll let you know. Yeah, it's possible we'll get a really nice tier list video out for you guys in, let's say, 2 to 3 hours here. In fact, real quick, let me just check if I have gotten an update from him. Okay, I'm not exactly sure yet if we're going to be able to get the video out tonight, but I'll keep you guys updated on that. Okay, I got a question for Miss K here, who seems to be pretty active in the chat. I'm gonna assume, based on your name, you're a female, or I guess female's derogatory these days, apparently. Woman, girl, whatever you want to call it. There are a surprising amount of, I would say, like a female audience who watches this. Why are women also like so upset with like modern work and culture? Because I get why men hate it, because it's like we don't like to work for someone else, you know, we want to work for ourselves. But yeah, just curious your perspective on, like, you know, why it's bad, why it's been bad, you know, from a female perspective too, or from a woman perspective. If I don't know, there's so many words are offensive and derogatory these days. I apologize if I'm not keeping up with all this. I don't know, I'm somewhere between, I would say, a wokey and like a total right-winger. I kind of think both sides are trash. Whew. Only reason to get with somebody nowadays is to get another income source, but even that can backfire depending on who you're with. Yeah, and like, I don't know. It also, it can absolutely backfire. I mean, if you're gonna do that, like, it's probably better to just like find a bunch of like a group of guy friends, you know, to band together and like split an apartment on rent with. You know, it's a lot less messy than... It's nothing against men or women here. It's just like, you know, when relationships end, inevitably it can get messy. People want to take revenge in any way possible. You know, people want to like take as much money as they can, right? So in general, like, not even getting into all this gender war debacle thing, in general, it's probably better to just like keep relationships and finances separate, in my opinion. Are you black-pilled or red-pilled? Definitely more black-pilled. Like, looks matter so much, guys. I would go as far as to say looks matter more for men than women. Now, this isn't entirely a bad thing. What I don't like about this is that, like, you know, like when I was growing up, women were criticized for being gold diggers all the time, right? Now women care about looks more. So you could definitely make an argument. And I get why that's frustrating, you know, if you're like, let's say, not good looking. Although, you know, you could look smacks the best you can and, you know, make it. But like, what are they supposed to do? Like, you know, like, if they like you for your money, they're going to be criticized for being gold diggers. If they like you for their looks, you're shallow. I mean, what are they allowed to like you for? But yeah, I would say, you know, by black-pilled or red-pilled, like, the general gist of that question, I'm assuming, is Do looks or matter? Do looks or money matter more now? And absolutely, looks matter way more now. But it's not all a bad thing, you know. I would say like looks maxing and like improving your looks a bit, doing some skincare, you know, working out. I mean, not that like everyone can be saved by doing that, but it's a hell of a lot easier doing that than trying to be a millionaire these days. Sorry, but women these days prefer to work for a boss that hates them than being a housewife for a husband that loves them. I don't know. Let's see what Miss K has to say about it. Miss K, do you agree with this? Do you agree that women would rather work for a boss that hates them than being with a husband that loves them? I will say this. The biggest feminist illusion ever was that, like, you know, I read like Lady Gaga said some shit about, oh, ladies, if you ever have to choose between your career and a man, choose your career because your career will never wake up one day and tell you it doesn't love you anymore. And it's like, pfft, you got to be joking, right? Like, I'm not saying like, you know, every traditional 1950s husband was great, but you really think like a company won't wake up one day and not love you anymore? You really think a company's not going to wake up one day and tell you your services are no longer needed? Like, come on now. But it's the same with right-wingers, right? Like, this is why I have a problem with both sides. Because, like, you know, the Ben Shapiro, Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson types, they're going to try to get young men to hop on this more red pill traditional mentality of work hard, hustle, you know, climb the corporate ladder, right? You know, be independent, be alpha. But what are you really doing there? I mean, you're also just depending on a corporation. I mean, it's the same way, like, you know, women are just shifting their dependency from a husband to a corporation. If you're a young guy and you try to play this stupid corporate game, all you're doing is shifting dependency from your parents or the government to a corporation. It's like everyone just wants everyone to be dependent on corporations. Like the left wants women to be dependent on corporations via feminism. The right wants men to be dependent on corporations via shaming them into traditional gender roles too, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. Why don't we just not be dependent on corporations somehow, right? And I don't know how that is. I get in this current society and system, it's hard to not be dependent on corporations. But you guys can change that, you know? Like, you're the next Gen Z, and, you know, you guys are like probably going to be the biggest generation soon. Boomers are going to phase out eventually. You guys will take over. Whatever world you want to create is in your hands. If you want to create a world where we're not dependent on corporations, where we have universal basic income, it's all in your hands. It's up to you to implement it. You know, I would say for now, for the next 10, 20, 25 years, we can still complain about boomers, and it's a valid complaint. But I kind of want to escape the doomer ideology just a bit from a long-term perspective. Like, if you want to be a doomer and say shit's fucked and we're cooked for the next 20 years, fine. But when boomers phase out after 20 years, it's going to be on you to change the world, you know? You'll have all the power to do it. Boomers are going to be long gone. At some point, you know, you can't keep complaining forever. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much most of the things you say. Very high rents, low wages, society seemingly dumbing down every year while opportunities decrease, healthcare, etc., etc. Yeah, exactly. Damn, pretty based and black-pilled. You're one of my new favorite channels. Thank you. That sounds like a based idea, not gonna lie. Thank you, yeah. Corporations see you as nothing but dispensable tools. Exactly. And why wouldn't they? Why would they not? Man, I'm liking this live stream. For a Wednesday, we're getting a decent amount of viewers. I think I might keep going for another, let's say 30 minutes to 1 hour, depending on how everything goes here. Once again, those of you who are just tuning in, we're talking about solutions for Gen Z. We talk about problems a lot in our videos. I can't give solutions in videos because everyone's different. Everyone needs different solutions. But in this live stream, I can interact with you. You can tell me your personal circumstances, and I can do my best to provide whatever solutions come to my mind. Remember, I'm not God. I'm not omniscient. I'm not always going to give the best advice. You don't have to take my word as the last word on everything, but I'm just doing my best here. Should we abolish democracy? I don't think so. I mean, Democracy certainly has issues, but what's a better alternative? Okay. Okay, thanks for joining, Mike Reborn. Yeah. Have a good coffee. And why are you reading a book, man? It's a waste of time. Like, shouldn't you be making money? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. We don't even live in a democracy to begin with. True. That's true. Yeah, it's an illusion. This whole like two-party system is has made it so democracy is a joke. You know? Okay. There aren't even any jobs hiring out there. Yeah, that's another thing is like even if you want to get a job, you can't. So might as well learn to, grow your own food, live with your parents. I don't know, start a YouTube channel. Like any of these non-traditional alternative paths, just take it, guys. Like, take it. What else are you going to do at this point? The majority is boomer. When you launching your OnlyFans? Have any guys been successful on OnlyFans yet? I'm legitimately curious. I wonder if it's even profitable. I will say this, like a lot of these red pill guys just hardcore shame the whole OnlyFans thing all the time. I'll be honest, like if I was a hot girl, tell me what's the incentive to like, well, why would I be, doing some degrading wage slaving job for like 10, 15 bucks an hour if I can make millions on OnlyFans? Like, you know what I mean? Oh, you're selling your body. Well, like if you freaking are a construction worker and you're breaking your back, 12 hours a day, like that's going to be bad for your body too. That's going to be degrading too. Like what job is not degrading? Let's see. Democracy on the front, but feudalism on the inside. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the worst thing about that is, during actual feudalism, medieval times, when it was like blatantly, like it was feudalism and they told you to your face it was feudalism. And that's what started a lot of uprisings because the peasants, eventually got sick of it. French Revolution, let them eat cake. You guys can look it up. They at least admitted to people they were slaves, and they told them to their face that they were peasants and slaves. These days, you're still a peasant, you're still a slave. In many ways, you're actually treated worse than peasants and slaves, but probably get into that another time. But they admitted to your face that you were peasants and slaves back then. Right now, you're a peasant and slave, and they got all kinds of creative illusions, such as democracy, to give you the illusion of freedom, to gaslight you. And why do they do this? Well, it's because if you knew you were a peasant and slave, you would absolutely revolt. So, I mean, pretty good psyop. I mean, on the part of the ruling class. I don't mean good as in the sense that, like, from a moral standpoint, but I just mean, like, it's scary effective how evil they are. Okay. Okay, let's not turn this whole chat into OnlyFans, guys. I just wanted to make a quick joke about it. If this whole chat devolves into OnlyFans BS, I might have to end this live stream. Oh my goodness, everything. I shouldn't have gone off on that tangent. Oh my god. Oh, now something about Andrew Tate. Oh no, what have I done? What has this live chat become now? The most degrading thing is paying for pee when there's literally unlimited stuff, free stuff, and guess who does that? Man, so we're no better. Well, I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, what can I say? But if someone wants to pay for it, it's their money, right? Oh my goodness. Can we talk about something? Can we change the subject, guys? I even low-key fear I'm gonna get shadow banned on YouTube if I keep discussing this OF nonsense. Simps are no better, yeah. Let's change the subject, please. Maybe I got what's a better thing to talk about? I'm doing the live stream. I guess it's on me. The initiative on me to change the subject. How's the weather? No. Will you get ahead if you work hard? No. We all know that's BS. What should we change the subject to? Help me out, guys. What do you all want to talk about? I think I'll keep going for, let's do this for another 30 minutes. And then I'll wrap this up. Can we talk about the socioeconomic statuses of the world right now? Okay, well, can you be a bit more specific? Like, the world's a large place. But I'm happy to talk about it. Yeah, it's an interesting topic. A lot better of a topic than OF, for sure. How do we get a job then? You don't. Like, no one's even hiring. Do you think the West is gynocentric? Sure, absolutely. Yeah. I mean... not that it's great for anyone. I mean, I would say this about the West and gynocentrism. Like, just like there's an apex fallacy for men that, like, you know, oh, all the CEOs are men. Most average women are struggling too. Like, you know, obviously there's, you know, like the super hot models or whatever can do OF and make millions, or, you know, have like simps pay millions, but that's not the majority. You know, there's a lot of struggling people of, you know, both genders. So try to have a little compassion, I guess, is what I would say. But yeah, if you're asking, you know, does the West, like, you know, do they treat women or men better? For sure, you know, they value women more. But it's not as bad as, you know, Andrew Tate makes it out to be. How much do you pay your editor? I can, you know what? I'll transparently share this with you guys. We actually split the revenue from our YouTube, down the middle, 50-50. I think that's the most fair thing, and this makes it so, like, this is okay. Actually, I'm glad you asked this, because this is something I wanted to bring up for a while now. I actually think a lot of you guys are actually motivated, and you would work. And I use the term work very loosely, but what I mean by work is just like anything productive, pursuing your passions or whatever. Like my editor, he's a young Gen Z guy, and even though this channel doesn't make that much money right now, I mean, we're trying to scale it up and go full time. So, like, you know, if anyone wants to help out with some donations, would be greatly appreciated. You know, not to simp for that, but even though we're not making that much money on YouTube right now, he's been really motivated and like very motivated and very productive when it comes to editing. You guys, if you guys just watch our earlier videos compared to now, it's clear how much better the production and the editing has gotten. And he's motivated to do this because even though we're not making that much money right now, he has a purpose. He feels like he's building something. He's earning, you know, like 50% of the profits. So he has his own stake and motivation. Like if I was just to pay him $7 an hour to do that, which I probably could, you know, I could probably find some Fiverr editor or whatever, pay him $10 an hour and call it a day, right? But there's just no motivation. You know, this is why hourly wages are such BS. It's because, like, okay, if I'm getting paid $10 an hour, I'm just making someone else richer. And it doesn't matter if I do the minimum or if I really put my heart and soul into this, because I'm getting the same BS dog shit wage. Whereas because I'm giving him a share of the profits directly, he actually has motivation to make it better. So I have seen that your generation, you guys do want to, you know, I'm not going to use the word work, but I would say be productive and find purpose and meaning. You guys just need to like see that the effort you're putting in is proportionate to the results you're getting out. And there's just no hourly wage that's going to do that. Hey, bro, we got to get off 666 subs. Yes, thank you, please. I've noticed that too. Let me check how many I had. It was, guys, earlier it was exactly 6666. How much 6665. Yeah, if someone can, I don't know. Can someone like message a friend? Let's get like 5. If someone can get like 5, reach out to like 5 friends and tell them to subscribe just so we get out of, you know, 666. I've never simped or begged for subscribers, guys. You guys know this. I'm not even, like, if you watch any of my videos, I don't even, like, in my videos, hey, hit the like button, subscribe, support the channel, turn on the notification. I don't do any of that, all right? I've never asked for this. I'm only going to ask for 5 right now so we can get out of 666. Someone can help us just, you know, get 5 friends or whatever to subscribe so we get out of the 666 would be greatly appreciated. You know, you'll never hear, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell from me in any other circumstance. You promise your editor is not locked in your basement getting whipped on the back. I think he's actually watching this right now. You want to chime in, editor? Are you locked in the basement? You're getting whipped right now on the back? Chime in if you are. Let him know. Expose me as the evil billionaire myself. Okay, we'll go tell about I live a healthy and fulfilling life, I swear. So that was my editor who just typed that, not me. I'm obviously on the live stream right now, so I can't type that at the same time. So yeah, he's not being, you know, whipped to death right now, as you guys can see. Send a smile emoji if you are being held hostage. I'm glad you're watching, dear editor. Yeah, I don't even have the resources to lock him in a basement, guys. Like, with 666 subscribers, you know, we're not there yet. So when are you gonna heal? Yeah, come on, guys. Can we get to like, yeah, can we just get to like 667 in this live stream? I swear, this is the only time I'm gonna simp for follow and subscribe to our videos. New donation goal, basement for the editor. Editor, how much does the basement cost? Let's set that as a goal real quick. Okay, let me get back to the original title of this live stream, which is Solutions for Gen Z. So far, what we have. Get into the trades, do it for 5 to 10 years, save up as much as you can, then GTFO, right? GTFO, move overseas, buy a cheap apartment, buy an RV, buy a van and convert it into a livable space. Whatever you got to do, whatever the many ways of checking out a society are, you should make enough money to do that after 5 to 10 years in the trade. Another potential solution we discovered, AI CEOs. You know, one thing these CEOs have kind of shot themselves on the foot on is in their quest to replace everything with CEOs, what they've overlooked is like an AI is the easiest, a CEO is the easiest job to replace with an AI. So what you can do, young Zoomers watching, start your own business, have an AI CEO replace Jeff Bezos, make the next Amazon. And you know that $200 billion net worth Jeff Bezos has? Well, you can now just split that all amongst your workers. You don't have to pay an AI CEO jack. You know, there's actually so much waste at the top that the AI CEO could cut, you know? Yeah, like if you want to start your own Tesla, right? Elon Musk is worth like 400 billion now. Well, just get an AI Elon Musk, you know? And yeah, that 400 billion that Elon Musk has, you can now split it amongst the workers. Oh, we got our first donation. Thank you, Monkey Autism, kebab for both of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Maybe editor, how much does a basement cost? Let's see how much let's see how far along the way we are to getting the basement that I'm currently holding you hostage in. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you. Let's get out of 666 to make sure Philosophical Gamer doesn't get haunted in his dream by demons. Yeah. Let's get out of this, guys. Help me. I just need 5 more subscribers to get out of 666, guys. Literally, that's literally all I ask, is to get out of 666. Go back and watch any of my videos. Tell me if I'm lying. Have I ever once said subscribe to this channel? Have I ever once said hit the notification bell? Share this video, like this video for the algorithm. I've literally never said that, guys. Not since I was using my AI voice. So I'm only simping for 5 guys now, 5 new subscribers so we can get out of 666. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, I'll stop talking about that. I think I'm getting a little obnoxious with this here. Gonna try to be self-aware, unlike boomers. Thoughts on criminalizing homelessness? Well, here's the problem. I read that like 18% of America's homeless now. I don't know if that's true. I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. But what happens when like, because people are going homeless now because like rent's just way too expensive. You know what I'm saying? And like these corporations, whoever's pulling the strings behind the scenes, they're purposely doing this. This is by design at this point, you know? Like, well, we all know it's by design. They want to push people, as many people homeless as possible. And, you know, same thing with how expensive these landlords are raising rents. So if everyone becomes homeless, right? Or, you know, a significant portion of the population, you know, in America, if 18% of people are homeless, that's like tens of millions of people who are homeless. How are you going to like come up with a prison system that can support that? You know? Like, at that point, you might as well give everyone free housing because, you know, it's going to be taxpayer monies that have to, like, be paid to keep people in prison anyways. So, like, what would be the point? It doesn't even make sense from a profit standpoint. And as we all know, there's nothing capitalists love more than profits. Okay. Let's see if we have any new subscribers. I promise, guys, I'm just trying to get out of 666. Oh, 668. Okay. Apparently my simping is working for now. We just need 2 more subscribers, guys, and we'll get out of 666. That's my only time you'll ever see me simping for extra subs. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. See, you never heard me say any of that. You haven't. Only to get out of this bad luck. Don't have kids and share rent. Yeah, that's a good, we will all end up working for Philosophical Gamer Corporation. You know, I'm going to put this down in like writing, not in writing, but if you say something on live stream on the internet these days, it's on the internet forever. So it's essentially as good as writing. If this channel becomes successful enough to where like I'm somehow able to start a business or a corporation, I promise you I'm going to treat you guys better, pay you guys better, like be so much better than these modern corporations. I know they all say like, oh, you know, it's easy to say that when you're not there. Wait till you get there. Hey, I'll tell you guys this much. I already have an editor. You know, we've hired thumbnail artists. It's really not that hard to pay people decently and not treat them like shit. It's not. Like, you know, this is just like gaslighting and manipulation to continue to justify the status quo and keeping things the way they are. You know, I believe we can be the change we want to see in the world. You know, because the world at the end of the day, it was created by people no smarter than us. None of the rules that the current world operates by are set in stone. You know, we're going to be the ones like creating the new world soon. You know, we can make our own. 40 an hour for everyone. Yeah. If I can scale the business to that, I think a better solution. I mean, I could do that. I wouldn't be against it. But I think a better solution would be to like pay people based on like the profits that the channel makes, which is what I'm doing with my editor right now. Because let's say best case scenario, wildest streams, this channel becomes the next Mr. Beast and we're making billions. Do you still only want to get 40 per hour there? Or would you rather, you know, make a portion of like the success you're putting into the company? Because you got to remember, dog shit wages, guys, this is a relative term. Dog shit wages can also be $40. Like if the company is making billions and you're getting 40, that's still pretty dog shit, right? So yeah, but I promise I'll find a more fair, humane way to distribute this. Okay. Sounds like a co-op. Yes, worker co-ops. Go look that up, guys. That's another great solution. A worker co-op, they do this in Slovenia, if I'm not mistaken, where like you have like a worker council and like decisions and stuff are like collectively made by like, you know, a group of workers where, you know, they vote on, you know, they decide who gets paid what, make the decisions based. So instead of one CEO doing it. Now, where this could get really interesting is if you combine this with the AI CEO. Like you have an AI CEO there just to make recommendations, right? And then the workers can make, you know, can vote based on those recommendations. Like it can give you a good guideline and a framework. So, you know, you're not constantly having to like figure out things between 12 people. And then, yeah, you have workers like vote and, you know, decide who gets what, so on and so forth. True, does sound like a co-op. Yeah, yeah. That could be that could be the way to go. Hey, it's working. Technically, I have a 2-man co-op with my editor. It's working great for both of us. And yeah, dear editor, if you're AI CEO would be cool. I doubt we will ever see that anytime soon. Why not though? Why the hell not? Why not? What's so hard about that? Because DeepSeek just came out, okay? Those of you who don't know DeepSeek, if you've been living under a rock, China just released like a new AI model. Apparently, it absolutely, you know, puts ChatGPT to shame. It is open source, which means anyone can have access to the code behind DeepSeek and modify it in whatever way they want. You could do it too, okay? You could go check out the open source for DeepSeek and code an AI CEO today, right now, if you wanted to. There is no reason, nothing holding you back from doing that. No reason you can't. You could literally make an AI CEO right now if you wanted. Why couldn't you do that? Give me one reason you couldn't do that. What's stopping you? Okay. What are your thoughts on millennials becoming old and boomers? Okay. Very good question. I'm glad you asked this. I have really, really mixed feelings about my own generation. You know, the millennials. Because most of the things that happen in the world were not our fault. But we also just blindly believed all the lies of society without ever doing anything about it. The best way I can put it is this. Like, if millennials were more like Gen Z, the world would already be a much better place right now. Just like so many millennials just went along and, you know, believed the lies and bought into the system. Even though we were the ones actively getting screwed over by it. And even when I talk to my friends my age today, they still cope, you know, and justify and, you know, cope their way into believing that going to college and doing the traditional route was the right thing, even though they're stuck in like tons and tons of debt right now. And I think because millennials were children of boomers, we grew up with the same delusional optimism that they did. And it's a bad combination. When you like, if you have delusional boomer optimism in a dogshit millennial economy, that's just a recipe for disaster. So yeah, that's my opinion on millennials getting old and becoming boomers. I do have more faith in the zillennial end of the millennial spectrum, right? But yeah, a lot of them, like, you know, I'm 34 now, so a lot of, you know, even like my millennial peers my age or older. Yeah, I will say this. I don't think they'll be like boomers in the sense that they're not going to shame younger generations. Like, you know, if you're like a young Gen Z guy, you don't want to work. Older millennials are not going to, you know, like constantly be on your case, calling you soft, lazy, blah, blah, blah. They're just going to be passive and not really do much positive or negative. Like, if the world's going to change, it's going to be pretty much all on Gen Z. I know it's a lot of pressure to put on, you know, one generation, but unfortunately, that's kind of just how it is. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this live stream for 10, 15 more minutes, and then we'll wrap this up. Let's see how many, if we're getting closer to 667. Oh! Yes, we got to 667. Thank you so much, guys. I will never simp for subscribers again. Okay, we got out of the unlucky 666. We got to 667. Woo! Thank you guys so much. I promise you this will be the first and last time I ever simp for subscribers. Okay, so now that we got there, if anyone wants to make any donations, would be greatly appreciated. Gonna be here until, let's say for 15 more minutes. And by the way, also, let me see if I got an update. 1 second, guys. My editor sent me an update. I'm gonna see if the video I was mentioning earlier will be available today. Okay. we're not going to be able to get the video out today. Tomorrow, our usual upload time, we'll be able to get out the new video. It's going to be a tier list video. You guys love those. A tier list video, we'll say somewhat solutions oriented. So yeah, be ready tomorrow to... It's going to be a special one. High production, longer video. You guys love that. A tier list of a lot of solutions for you all. I would say, I haven't seen it yet, but the idea, the concept, it's going to be one of our best videos. Just be on the lookout for that tomorrow. Are you on TikTok? Yes, same name, Philosophical Gamer. I guess I'll link our TikTok. We actually started out on TikTok, but we got frustrated because we talked about controversial things like TikTok shadow banned us so many times. Okay, I'm a millennial too, realized the rigged working life of our country until now, since 2010. Yeah, I would say since 2008 is when everything went to hell. And then people were coping. Oh my God. Quick history lesson for you younger guys, you younger Zoomers out there who were not, either were too young or weren't born yet. 2008 was such, like, this was before, like, the word coping was really invented. I mean, cope existed, of course, as a word, but before it became popularized on the internet, God, people were the biggest copers ever about the economy back in 2008. So many people just said, oh, the economy will get better in a couple of years. You should still get to college because even though things suck now, the economy will recover in 4 years by the time you get out. Just the biggest cope delusional justification ever. And of course, it's actually 17 years after 2008 now. Holy shit. 17 years later, the economy still has not recovered from 2008. You know? So, this is why coping is dangerous. As the millennial technology wasn't as strong back then and certain problems weren't as bad as they are now, pretty hard to get insulated from the truth when you got TikTok. Yeah, that's a great point too. Yeah, like it's just impossible to hide stuff now, which is I think this is another reason like Gen Z is overall smarter than other generations, just because like, you know, you can't hide anything anymore. For example, when I was growing up as a millennial, right? Like this is something, a quick story I'll tell you guys. American school system lied so much about like events that happen in other countries, and you could get away with lying about this. Basically, you know, I get it's different now, but back then, you know, America was number one and every other country sucked. And you could get away with lying about that back then because the only information you ever got was, you know, the brainwashing you received in the school system. We didn't have YouTube, didn't have TikTok, didn't have, you know, any of these like alternative viewpoints. You can't really lie to even kids anymore about that, because if you try to say like, you know, if you try to rewrite history, for example, and say America was the greatest at everything, kids are going to go on TikTok, YouTube, find out the actual truth. And yeah, they just can't be lied to anymore. Yeah. 2008 will happen again when the AI bubble bursts. We just got a taste of it from DeepSeek. Well, I mean, did 2008 ever go away? That's my question. Okay, let's say 5 more minutes and we'll wrap this up, guys. Anyone have any last questions, comments? Any advice you're seeking? Now's the time. Yeah, once again, one last time, we're talking about solutions for Gen Z here. Once again, to quickly recap, potential solutions we've discussed so far. Getting in the trades and getting out. Doing 5 years in the trade, saving up as much as you can, then checking out of society with what you saved up. Creating an AI CEO. Oh, advice on doing YouTube. Great question. Okay. Advice on doing YouTube. Okay, so you got to pick something new, got to pick something creative. I will say this. Don't believe people who say it's too late to start on YouTube. Like, this channel is living proof that it's not. Like, we started YouTube 6 months ago. Look how much this channel's already exploded, you know, thanks to this great community we have. So don't let there be a mental block that it's too late to start on YouTube. And I can tell you why it's not too late to start on YouTube. If you think it is, all you got to do is look at it from YouTube's perspective. Like, they want and need newer creators and new fresh faces so that they can stay relevant as well. So, you know, YouTube actually needs newer creators to stay alive and stay relevant. So, yeah, just, you know, don't, you gotta, whatever you're doing, you just gotta be more creative and more next level. And, you know, whenever you're making a video, try to think of it from the audience's perspective, whatever you're doing. and think about what does the audience want to see and how can I make them click on a video and watch a video. Yeah, that's my best advice about starting YouTube. I'll probably make a full YouTube course sometime, so I can get more into the details of it all. But yeah, I probably don't have that much time on this limited time left on this live stream. Dude, did you know the whole IT sector is gone? There's no jobs outside. Yeah, exactly. It's way too oversaturated. Like, getting a computer science degree is really pointless now. First of all, even when the job market wasn't this bad for tech, it wasn't all that necessary to get a degree in the first place. And number two, yeah, even guys with like 15 years experience in tech are having trouble finding jobs now. So, I mean, as a young guy trying to get an entry level in tech, I can't lie to you, you know? Like, I'm not going to be a boomer and pretend like everything's going to be okay if I give you that bad advice just because it sounds good, I'm going to ruin your life, so I'm not going to do that. Try something else is what I would say. Honestly, it's probably easier to make it on YouTube than in tech right now. Thoughts on mass deportation and tariffs. I wonder how it will affect the economy. A functional society shouldn't depend on an underclass to begin with. Good question. I will say this. I'm surprised Trump is actually doing it. It appears he's actually carrying out what he said he was going to do. So to give him credit for that, I'm not a Trump supporter by any means. I'm not a supporter. I'm completely apolitical. I think both sides sucks. But to give him credit, he has actually carried out deportations as he promised he would. Now, will that actually make a difference? It might make a bit of a difference, but will it make enough of a difference to solve every single problem we have right now? I don't think so. Because, okay, tell me this. Let's say, like, if you're living in a more rural area, Kansas, Wyoming, whatever, I assume there's not that many migrants there. I can't imagine in the more rural areas, even without migrants, it's super easy to get a job right now. Like, they're a problem, but they're not the only problem. Far from it. He is kicking out Mexicans, but he is getting Indians. Yeah, well, of course he would be, because, you know, that brings in more profits for capitalist businesses. Do you think cyberpunk or reality is more dystopian? In cyberpunk, you can somehow afford to live in your own flat by yourself. I think reality is definitely more dystopian, because you gotta, like, shit at least looks cool in cyberpunk. I mean, it's at least visually appealing, you know? Reality's not even visually appealing anymore. So it's like, you know, at least you can cope your way into, like, a visually appealing alternate reality in this game, right? But yeah, in real life, it looks like shit, it pays like shit, walks like shit, talks like shit, does everything like shit. Yeah. And yeah, as you said, you can afford your own apartment in the game, but not in real life. Okay, a couple more minutes, guys. A couple more questions, and I'm gonna hop off. Was a nice chat. Reality is definitely worse. In cyberpunk, you can at least access basic body and mind augments for not that much. Do you want that though? Like, because they're controlled by corporations, and I mean, with how invasive corporations are already with our tech, you know, with our like privacy. How much more invasive would they be if they have access to our literal body parts? Are commentary videos with video game footage still doable on YouTube? Yes, but you have to like do something unique. You have to do something someone hasn't done before. So I'll give you a quick example. If you try to just do like, oh, you know, whatever, you know, like building some house on Minecraft, that's not going to work anymore because too many people have done that. If you wanted to do that, you would have to do something like some ridiculous challenge like, you know, can I build a house in Minecraft in 30 minutes with one hand? Or, you know, can I like, can I complete this Minecraft obstacle course while eating really hot chili peppers? You have to just go really next level above and beyond these days. One question you could answer one day: how do you use your thumbnails? Like what soft? I just use Canva basically. Yeah, I like the topic of this chat. Let's talk about solutions. I like this because so many people on YouTube just complain. Yeah, and this is why I'm doing this, is because like it's the best way. Okay, 2 more minutes, guys, and then I gotta go. Last call. Any questions? Any advice? Any donations would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, 2 more minutes. At 40, whatever hour you're at 40, it's 38 right now. At 40, I'm gonna hop off. So yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for everyone who's participating. I'm really happy with the engagement, the community we got here. In both our live chats, there was quite a lot of engagement. I'm really happy with it. So I think I'll continue to do this some more. Yeah, 2 more minutes. Last call. Questions, comments, donations. What's the time for you now? I prefer not to say because that could give away my privacy and my location. Okay, 39. 1 more minute, guys. Last call. Read Reality is Broken by Jane McGonnell. I mentioned starting my own business. Yeah, go for it. You have to, because you might fail starting your own business. Here's the thing. If you have to choose between starting your own business and working for someone else, first of all, with how fucked the job market is, the chances of succeeding are probably equal for both. Like, it's probably a 1 in 100 chance you'll succeed either at starting your business or working a 9 to 5. But the difference is if you start your own business and you're successful, you actually get a decent reward. Whereas if you are successful in getting a 9 to 5 job, your reward is what, $10 an hour? So yeah. Have you been to Asia? Yes. Thanks for being real. No problem. Makes sense to me. I really want, I do really want to do this. Tough question. I feel like if we got to work 9 to 5 for garbage wage, might as well get some fancy upgrades while at it. Yeah, like how you can double jump in Cyberpunk. Like, I would work for some dog shit wages to get like an augmentation to double jump. I guess, yeah. And then I don't know, like these corporations, I don't know. I guess they would use that to track my whereabouts and see what I'm doing with my legs all the time. But for the ability to double jump, it'd be pretty cool. Man, imagine how sick it would be playing basketball with the ability to double jump. Like, shoot, good idea, actually. What I'm going to do, and this is my plan, and like in the alternate universe, when Cyberpunk becomes a reality, yeah? I'm going to go get that double jump augmentation on my legs, and then I'm just going to go and try to make the NBA. That's the new plan. And then, yeah, for that trade-off, okay, these corporations, they can harvest my data. They can do whatever. I'm just going to learn how to double jump and then make the NBA and just freaking dunk on everyone. Okay, I'm going to sign off, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, I'll probably do a couple more of these. Definitely on the weekends, I'm going to live stream now. Be on the lookout for our tier list video coming tomorrow. It's going to be a very high production quality. My editor worked really hard on this, guys. You're going to love it, I promise you. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the donations, participating, everyone who joined. Thanks most of all for getting us to 667, because we were stuck on 666 subscribers for so long. So yeah, broke that bad luck. So yeah, have a good night, guys. I'll see you all in the next live stream. Take care.